Good morning. I just thought I'd do a little vlog of a trip out today because it's like one of my last full days in the northeast, and I've kind of fancied going to this miners museum that's up in Northumberland. So I had a wee trip out here today, and that's it behind me there. So you can see like the pit wheels over here, and then this building here is where the canaries used to be when they were mining. And yeah, so just thought I'd do a wee trip out today. And then I've got a boat booked to like near the Farne Islands, so hopefully see some seals and things like that today. And just had an iced pumpkin latte, very autumnal themed, but I feel really wired just after a couple of sips. I don't really drink coffee. I feel a bit more awake now. And yeah, so just gonna have a few hours here, and there's a little gift shop, and I love a little gift shop. So yeah, have a little wander around, and I'll see you later. Actually, I just thought I would maybe take you along with me a wee bit for today. So I love like learning about like I always read like every plaque and stuff like that. I'm that annoying person. I just read the plaque there that the pit wheels behind me here carried the shaft that went 266 meters down, which is the height of the Eiffel Tower, down to the ground to obviously bring up the coal and bring up the men up and down back in the 1800s. So this was all opened and started in like the late 1800s. So yeah, it's been here a very long time, and I just find it really interesting because especially in the northeast there's so many like minor villages and things. It was such a big thing in the northeast of England. Yeah, so I'll take you along.
Only at half capacity.
So in this room, you can see this, and this plaque was just saying here that on Christmas in 1941 this place got bombed, and because it got bombed it like totally wrecked like all the ventilation systems and everything like that. So they're actually saying thanks to Luftwaffe here, because after that they changed things and made it electricity. It kind of gave them the push to kind of like upgrade their systems and turn everything into electricity, so actually like improve things. And in here, there's like a report here that 13 men were killed on the 13th of August 1916. They basically blamed it on an unfortunate accident and nobody was to blame, but it doesn't really look like that. The inspector of mines disagrees here and says it was because of like the poor ventilation in the mines, but eventually no one got the blame for it and 13 men died. And over here, these are all the 13 men, and it tells you like how old they are and how many kids and stuff they had and if they were married, and a lot of them are like in their 40s, and there was like one person here who had like 9 children. Hello, so this is a different room, and here behind me there is one of the shafts that the men used to go down in, and I've just taken a little video that you can actually see inside. But oh my god, it just makes me I'm not even claustrophobic, but it makes me feel claustrophobic. And here is another shaft there, that red one there, and you can see all the way up here. I don't know if you can see if I angle the camera. Like above me there, that's where they used to sort the coal and grade it. And you can see here the sign there, just the sign there. So just below that is the hole, and that is the concrete hole that they've now concreted it up, but you would literally drop to oblivion. So that is 271 meters, so that is even further down, even higher than the Eiffel Tower, but down. And this like plaque here was just saying that these shafts, so there ended up being 2 shafts, one that took down fresh air and one that essentially took up toxic air, and one was always going up and one was always going down, taking like the men down and like the supplies up. And also they would have ponies in there, ponies as well as the men going down up and down the shafts. Sorry if that bit was a little bit quiet, I got a little bit embarrassed because people walked in. But there was like another wee story. So later there was 2 shafts, but before there was only 1 shaft here, and there became 2 shafts because of a horrible accident that happened, or a horrible incident that happened. One of the giant engines snapped, and it meant that I think it was like 21 tons of concrete, and everything just came down on all the men working in the mines, and it ended up 204 men and boys lost their lives because they were like suffocated, and carbon monoxide basically killed them. So after that, a Mines Act was introduced that there was 2 shafts had to be built, so at least it like could help with any like accidents or anything like that happen. But it took 204 men and boys to like lose their lives before that happened. So yeah, there's just so many accidents and things that happened here, and just such a dangerous way of life and the living that so many people in the northeast had like no choice back then. So it's a very interesting place. There's some black diamonds behind me here, what all those men and boys risked their lives for. That was their livelihood, getting all these black diamonds. And you know how I like a gift shop? There are some, you can actually buy the miners' lamps. They're just in this cabinet here. Quite expensive though, like £110 for one of these lamps. These ones, the bigger ones here, are 120. But they do look pretty cool. And then there's some nice paintings over here. Postcards, sorry. Pitman Painters, it says there. And just nice kind of postcards, pretty cool postcards of like that kind of era. Pretty cool. Yeah, I do love a gift shop. It's not one of the best gift shops, but there are a few like minor stuff. There's some more bits here. Oh, miner's train, coal train, that sort of thing, little wee souvenirs, little miner's hats. Yeah, I love stuff like this. So this is like a little interactive bit called Coal Town. So you're going through all the ages, and it's like quite an interactive bit, so I think this bit's really good for kids. Like a little miner's setup as if you're going for work that day. Love this kind of stuff. I cut a lot of the footage here because the audio was so bad, because they had like actors speaking as if they were working in the mines, but you can see here how horrible the conditions would be. You wouldn't be able to stand, and it was so dark and dim. Don't mind him. So this is like the pit baths that they used to clean themselves in, but apparently if you cleaned your back, that meant that you were weak, so they quite often didn't clean their backs because a clean back meant a weak back. So yeah, black, dirty backs, but everywhere else was clean. Nice. Hi, so back from the Woodhorn Museum, which is really good. I'm the type of geek who wants to read absolutely every single sign, so it takes me a wee while to get around, but really interesting, really enjoyed it. And now we are at Sea Houses, and I booked that boat trip so you can see like seals and things like that, but the sea fret is here in full force, and that's like when the fog comes off the water, especially when it's like sunny around here and you can't see anything. It's probably really hard for you guys to tell, but it's really foggy behind me there. It's very glary actually. So good news, the tour is still open and I've got my sunglasses on. That is much better. It's very, very glary, so yay, we're still going on the boat. So just waiting on our boat. Not what I expected. I thought it was going to be like a little, almost like tugboat, but it's got like, it looks like it's got like seats on the top, which looks really nice. It's actually really warm, even though the sea fret's here. It's really hot. And we just had some fish and chips, which were very nice. And like Sea Houses, this kind of neck of the woods. It's good to, it's like you should have fish and chips around here. But my job was to bring the water. And what did I do? I've forgotten the water, so we are going to be cooking on this boat with no water, so I'm just hoping I don't get a headache. But I'm excited. The lady who's taking the tour, or just took our tickets, just said that a diver just saw a basking shark. So I would love to see something like that. I would be so happy if I saw some dolphins or a basking shark or any kind of wildlife. I mean, we might only see seagulls, but yeah, just an experience, so I'd be happy even with that. So fingers crossed we see some cool stuff, and hopefully I will show you. So I thought this was our boat, and I thought the open top chairs would have been pretty cool, but ours was a bit smaller and a little bit more rustic.
It takes time, one more flight, one more sunset and dawn. Yes, it takes time, and we dance to the downfall.
And you might just be able to make out Grace Darling's lighthouse here, and she's made famous in the northeast because her and her father went out in a rowing boat to rescue survivors from a shipwreck. And they actually had to make the treacherous trip twice because they couldn't fit all the survivors in their boat. And at the time, this was sort of in the 1800s, Victorian time in Britain, she was in every newspaper going, so because of her heroism. So it's a pretty cool story. And we actually did manage to find some seals, so we're quite close to the rocks here because of the fog. We had to get pretty close just to be able to see them. And these are all pregnant seals, and the guy was just telling us that the seals are actually born pure white, and they weigh about 15 kilograms when they're born, and they get fed pure milk, which is like full fat, 60% full fat milk, and they double in size within a couple of weeks. And then in about 6 weeks' time, they are ready to go out to sea. So unfortunately, I didn't see any baby seals yet, but it was quite cool just to see the mummy seals. And I cannot see a thing right now. It's just so foggy, but I'm trying to make the most of it. And this is where St. Cuthbert spent some time here. He was a bit of a hermit and also a monk in the northeast. And you can actually do a really lovely walk from the borders to the coast of Northumberland, which looks lovely. Hello, so we just finished the boat tour. It was so good. We actually saw some grey seals and gannets, and they are like one of the biggest birds. They've got a wingspan of like 6 foot, so we saw quite a few of those. And then we saw where Grace Darling, she's quite famous in the northeast because she rescued some people who were shipwrecked in a rowing boat. So we saw her island that she lived on with a lighthouse, and St. Cuthbert's Island, so he's famous here. I believe he was a monk, and he lived on the island here as well. And you can do St. Cuthbert's walk and things. And what else? What else did we see? And we saw like where the puffins would nest and things. He said, and the skipper was really lovely. He was like saying that the best time to come is in June, and you'd see like puffins and loads of birds, and that's where loads of birds tend to do all their nesting. And he was saying that the puffins, like, they actually burrow and like nest like almost like rabbits. I thought they like nest in like an actual nest. And I was like saying, what else have you seen? And he was saying that he was fishing and 3 orcas like circled their boat once. And there was a humpback whale here a few years ago as well that breached. So it's just kind of the right timing. Didn't see the basking shark though. But yeah, even though it was really foggy, still managed to see some things, and really pleased that we went. Like, I actually thought the fog kind of made it quite kind of eerie, almost like Jack Sparrow was going to come around the corner any time now. I'm so glad I brought these sunglasses though, because these are polarized. Guys, I mean, I'm in the eye industry, so if you get sunglasses, make sure you get polarized, because it just cuts out the glare even better. And I think I would have got a migraine if I didn't have these on, because it was like really hard to focus with the fog. Like, the visibility was really bad, but I was able to like just see a wee bit better with these sunglasses, so I'm really glad I packed those. And yeah, so now I think we might go for a little snack, because I'm starving again, and then a bit pizza at Embers. And if you're ever in the northeast, around Northumberland way, Embers is meant to be amazing. I've not had this pizza. I've tried 4 times to have this pizza every time we've driven out, and it's a bit of a drive for us, about an hour and a bit drive. He's sold out, so I booked online this time, so I'm definitely getting the pizza, and booked that for 5. So I think now I might go for a wee snack, and maybe have a wee walk along one of the beaches around here, because the beaches around Northumberland are stunning. So it's definitely worthwhile to have a little beach walk. So I think we might do that. Now the sun's kind of come out again, which is lovely. So yeah, really good fun. So if you're ever in Bamburgh, there's a really nice restaurant around that way. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it on here. It's quite fancy, but it's really, really nice. And the Creel and Reel, the little food van that I was just at just there, it is so nice. And like maybe about a year ago or so, we went there and the food was amazing. And he was just finishing up and we had the best scallops. They were chef's kiss, amazing. But he'd like almost like sold out of everything. He had like lobster chips and stuff like that, lobster with chips with like lobster on and things. But these scallops were insane. Lots of things had sold out. When we just got there, he just sold, so he only works 12 till 3. So if you're ever in Bamburgh, that is an amazing place to go. But then there was a wee man at the food truck who recommended the Copper and Kettle, so we're just going to go there. He said the best cake and coffee in the world. So very, what's the word? So he's got very high standards for this copper kettle, so we're going to go try that for a little snack because I'm really hungry and the pizza isn't till 5, and then I'm going to have a wee walk around Bamburgh Castle.
One more flight, one more sunset and dawn. Yes, it takes time.
Hi, so I was saying that we stopped to get some cake, and because that guy suggested it when we were at Creel and Reel, and the Victoria's Bunch was really nice, and I got a cup of tea just to take away. And we have just walked to Bamburgh, and that's it behind me. And I totally forgot about Bamburgh today. I didn't think about it at all to come and visit here, so I'm really glad it popped into my head, because from Sea Houses, where we did the boat tour, Bamburgh is only a 6-minute drive, and Bamburgh is one of my favourite places in the northeast. It is so stunning. I'll just show you some footage of the beach, but it's just such a beautiful stretch of beach, and then you've got a castle as well, and I love castles. Like, castles are my favourite thing to like go exploring. I just think they're so romantic, and this castle looks onto a beautiful stretch of beach. So if you're ever in the northeast, I really would recommend coming to Bamburgh Castle. You can actually do a tour of the castle, which is quite interesting because the Vikings were here and things like that. So it's really interesting, a lot of history, and yeah, this is like one of my favourite, it's like one of my happy places. I love it here. So it's about 4 o'clock now, and the fog has gone out to sea, which is amazing, and it's such a lovely, beautiful day here now. So just gonna have a little walk off that cake, and then drive down the road to go get pizza later. But I am just in my element right now. It is just so gorgeous, and it's just so peaceful here, and then the dunes as well, it's just gorgeous. But yeah, I was saying there was a really nice foodie place as well. It's a bit expensive around here, Bamburgh, but there's really lovely places to eat around here in the northeast too. Around Northumberland, there's like lovely wee places to eat around here. Beadnell's got a really nice place. I think it's called Long Sands, and you can like sit outside and eat as well. So there's really nice little foodie stops too. But yeah, just gonna enjoy a beautiful walk on a beautiful day. Okay, we made it to the pizza place, and we almost nearly didn't get pizza because I was like, yeah, 5 o'clock Hamilton for pizza, and the guy was like, no, there isn't a 5 o'clock Hamilton for pizza. I was like, what do you mean? I booked it yesterday. I've come an hour, more than an hour's drive here. I've tried 4 times to get here. This is the 5th time. I'm saying this in my head. And he said that the website went down about the time when I booked and all those orders were lost, and I checked and it didn't come out my bank account. But he's luckily making pizzas for us, so I'm delighted, because I really thought I wasn't going to get a pizza, and I really wanted to try this place in the northeast before I moved to London. So I'm getting a sun-dried tomato and onion pizza, and the evening is so nice. I've just got wee San Pellegrino, and there's like little Highland Cows here as well, which is so cute. And I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I've been dreaming of this pizza for months and all day today I've been fantasizing of this pizza. So it's a really nice evening, so it'll be lovely just to sit out. A nice wee seating area here, but if you want to come here, I really recommend booking the pizza, because you don't want to drive all this way and be disappointed. But hopefully it's good. I'm really excited.
Yes, we dance through the downfall. Juggle, we juggle.
Okay, so I'm back home, back at the flat now, and had such an amazing day. Did so much, but I love days like that when you just cram in loads, so loads of things. Like I loved the Miners Museum, I loved the boat tour, and it was funny because the skipper on the boat tour was like, oh, today's been a bit of a washout, but I didn't think so. Like I saw seals, and the guy, I spoke to the other guy on the boat, and he was like telling me loads of things about like things he'd seen, and it was just really interesting. And even though it was really foggy, I still thought it was still cool, and I actually did see some of the Farne Islands, even though like it's kind of more like they're silhouettes, but I feel like I can still tick them off and say that I've seen them. And then going to Bamborough, that was such a nice impromptu thing because I forgot how close Bamborough was, and I just love that beach. It's just such a beautiful beach. The sand is so flat, and the fret started to come in again there, but it made it look kind of moody and cool. And then we went to get pizza, and the guy actually was so nice because I booked it, and like I said, that was probably like the 5th time I've tried to go there, and he didn't have my order, and I was like, oh my god, no. But apparently all the systems went down on his booking systems the night before, so even though I booked it, he had no register of it, but he still made me a pizza anyway. So I was delighted, and it was really good pizza. Like it was super thin. It didn't feel like greasy or anything like that, and it was a really nice setting, and the Highland Cows, they were really cool, but it was a really good pizza, so I'd really recommend. And yeah, and then drove back, and now gonna watch some Harry Potter, because that is such a great way to end the day, is a wee bit of Harry Potter. So hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I'll speak to you soon.